big gay horror fan here, and I can't think of anything cooler than maybe making Frankenstein's monster than hanging out with this handsome, talented fellow here, Mr. Scott Barsotti. Very wise, an amazing playwright and actor. We talked a little bit about Kill Me recently, but Scott, you've done some amazing character work here in Carmela and different horror theater.
Thanks. Yeah.
Do you want to talk about the process that you kind of went through in kind of creating some of those characters? You created two very distinct characters in Carmela, and just were very convincing and kind of creative with that work. So
I just as an actor, I'm really drawn to physical work. So really, what was really appealing to me about those characters in Carmilla was just thinking about how they're different physically. I mean, a hunchback, that was a lot of fun because he got to sort of tumble around and have this very intense, extreme posture. So that was a lot of fun. And then the French painter, stands very tall and very straight. So it seems very simple, but it just the difference in the physicality and how they stand and how they move. That's some of the stuff that really interests me as an actor, and then and similarly as a writer too. I like to write physical roles too.
Awesome. Speaking of physical, you're probably best known for it's been covered by Horror Hound and Rumorgrite and just a bunch of The Revenants, which is your zombie play, which has kind of been well produced and optioned and all that kind of stuff. Can you talk a little bit about how that came about?
Just the play itself?
Play itself.
So that one, that goes back to 2005, is when I first started writing The Revenants. And
which is an amazing, would you kill your mate if they turn into a zombie?
Exactly.
But it's incredible, in a basement, just a few characters. It's really an amazing piece of art. So.
Thanks, Brian. But yeah, that came in that. So often in zombie movies, you get that scene where somebody's confronted with the person that they love, and they see them, they've turned into a zombie, and the decision to either leave them forever or shoot them through the head always seemed to me too easy, the way that it's often depicted in film. So I just really wanted to spend some time with that idea, especially if you got a couple characters who aren't really the the strong, self-assured type A characters that you get a lot of times. And in terms of heroic figures, so these are people who aren't really equipped to survive, and they really depend. So they really depend on their mates, and they identify themselves as being part of that couple. So it's really hard for them to move on, and really hard for them to convince themselves that's gone. That part of their life is gone. And the thing that's fun about it too, I think, is that a lot of times with zombie films and zombie shows, you get just a little bit of time with the zombies here and there, a minute here, 2 minutes there.
And they're on stage the entire time in this piece.
Yeah, so you get 80 minutes straight quality time with the zombies. You really get to know them. So that was something that I thought would be fun and an interesting challenge for live actors too.
Yeah. How do you bring nuance and personality to something that's undead for 80 minutes?
Yeah, and that's always been fun to see different actors interpret that different ways, but Brian Amadei and Laura Hooper in the production here did a fantastic job, and they were really, a lot of people found them really heartbreaking. Yeah. Really empathized for them by the end of the play.
That's awesome. Where can we find out about what's going on with you, Mr. Scott? Future projects, acting work, where The Revenants is showing next, because everyone out there wants to see it.
Well, the Revenants is happening next in Boston, a theater called Happy Medium. They are in, I can't think of the exact address of the space, but yeah, it's Happy Medium Theater in Boston, and they're producing in the fall. I'm going to say in September and October. In terms of what's going on with me, I have a blog. It's a WordPress blog, scottbarsotti.wordpress.com. And I do a lot of work with Wildclaw every year, so wildclawtheater.com. You can find out more about what I'm doing there too.
Awesome. Well, from Mary Shelley to Scott Barsotti, I am surrounded by literary talent. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to check out Scott's stuff, and the gay horror fans, and take care.